It's the middle of March and it's warming up a little. Today the air temperature on the car said it was about 14 degrees as I drove across here today, and I've just had a look at the soil thermometer in this particular field and that's about 8 degrees today. So things are moving in the right direction and crops are starting to grow. This particular crop of winter wheat that I'm studying today has already had its first application of nitrogen and sulphur, and it won't be long, certainly in the next fortnight, when we'll start to think about the first application of growth regulator to crops like this. And as we know, it's all about ears per metre squared and the grains on those ears that drive yield. And it's important as the crop moves from that foundation stage into its construction stage, as the crop moves from growth stage 30 into 31, that we make sure that the crop has got all the micronutrients that it needs, in addition to that nitrogen and sulphur that's already been applied. I'm thinking, of course, of copper, zinc, magnesium, and quite often we see in samples sent into the lab, boron can be deficient in cereals, particularly early on. So when you're putting your plans together for your first growth regulator applications in the coming weeks, I would recommend including a product like Gramitrel. YaraVita Gramitrel has been formulated to deliver all those key micronutrients that I've just mentioned in one can. It's readily tank mixable, very safe to the crop, and gives you that long lasting feeding effect for all those key micronutrients that cereals require at that rapid growth stage in early spring. We've seen with Gramitrel over 6 years worth of trials that application in the spring of 2 litres to the hectare has given us on average a yield response of 0.55 tonnes to the hectare, and even given current November wheat futures prices, that investment will still give you a 6 to 1 return on the money you spend on the Gramitrel. So that would be my recommendation, particularly in a crop like this that's well established and full of potential. Obviously this year a lot of crops have struggled to establish, and there's a lot of variability out there, I understand that, particularly on different soil types. In those cases, my recommendation would be to split the Gramitrel and perhaps just go with 1 litre early, just to make sure you've given the crop something, and save the other litre to apply later on once the crop does start to have enough biomass and starts to look to have more potential as you go through the spring. So if you require any more information on Gramitrel, head to the website. There's lots of information on there, and there's also some useful information, tips and advice about managing your crops, particularly in a year like this, where it's been a challenge to get them established in the first place.